Guys, here to do a review of the last Twilight movie, Breaking Dawn Part 2. Now, I'm not a huge Twilight fan, I'm not a twihard. I really didn't enjoy the books all that much. The first two I thought were really good, but the third one started to get kind of bad, and the fourth book was actually my least favorite book. And I was also kind of ticked that we had to wait until the fourth book, or in this case the fifth movie, to finally see Bella as a vampire. Now apparently parts 1 and 2 were made at the same time, back to back. So I don't know why they had to wait to release these movies a year apart. But anyway, I was excited to see this movie because, you know, Bella turns into a vampire. And I was quite surprised at how much I actually did like it. This is my favorite Twilight movie now. It's directed by Bill Condon. Bill Condon also directed the first movie, and he directed a very good movie in, I think, 1998 called Gods and Monsters, and it's about the director of the original Frankenstein movie, James Whale, and that's a great movie, and they make a reference to the Bride of Frankenstein in Breaking Dawn Part 1, but this movie flew by really fast. It's a lot more entertaining than Part 1. There's a lot more action, there's a lot more stuff that I actually did not remember from the book. I don't know, I'm not sure if they added a whole bunch of stuff, but from what I remember from the book, there was a lot of stuff that I just did not remember. This is a spoiler alert in case you haven't seen the movie, but the infamous scene where Alice goes to take Arrow's hand and we see the big vampire battle, I knew it was in there, and I was expecting it. And to be honest, I actually quite enjoyed it. Almost every single person that watched this movie the first time was really ticked when they first saw that in the theaters. And I can understand why. And they explained on IMDb, the filmmakers, that they did that to make it more entertaining. And there was a vampire battle in Eclipse, but it wasn't as epic as the one in this movie. And particularly because, you know, we see, you know, Carlisle's head getting ripped off and a whole bunch of the Cullens dying, and it was a very enjoyable scene, and it lasts like 10 minutes long. I mean, it is a very long scene for something that doesn't take place. And I did get a little sad at the end of the movie where they show like all the castmates from all 5 of the movies and some footage from the movies. It definitely was a sad closure to the movie, and I wasn't feeling too happy, you know, the day that I saw it, so that kind of might have had an effect on what I was feeling. As usual, I was very annoyed at Taylor Lautner / Jacob Black. I just do not like Jacob Black. You see very few. You don't see a whole lot of the Volturi in this movie, which I thought the Volturi is like the main center point of Breaking Dawn, the book, and I really expected to see a lot more of them than we actually did in the movie. I mean, it is a lot, I guess, but I expected to see more. And when this came out, an extended edition of Part 1 came out, and I thought this version was going to include an extended or unrated scene of when they're on their honeymoon on the island and the first time they do it, because the screenwriter for Part 1 said that she wrote it very risque and dirty, and they had to cut it down. So I thought, if you're going to re-release the movie, why don't you include that in there? But I guess they didn't. They just included a lot of stupid scenes that were cut out for a reason, and they're just using this to make money. But I'm probably still going to buy it anyway, because, you know, I'm interested to see it. But the whole thing about Jacob imprinting on Renesmee, nobody except for one person has ever hinted that it was very, like, creepy, like Jacob is a pedophile. And I guess the reason why I don't think that way is because Renesmee is not a human baby. She's a half human, half vampire, and she grows up extremely fast. So, I mean, if she was a child for like as long as a human was, that'd be different, but I really didn't think it was creepy. But, yeah, this was a really good movie. Bill Condon really did a great thing for the series. And what I love about the Twilight movies is even on the DVDs, they have all of the bonus features on the DVD as they do on the Blu-ray. And this is like one of the last movie series to even do that. Harry Potter, the DVD, I don't think even had a scene selection. They really gypped you out on the DVD. This movie includes a 7-part documentary that shows making of Breaking Dawn 1 and 2. There's an audio commentary with Bill Condon, which I want to watch. And then there's also the Jump to Edward or Jump to Jacob scenes. The audio commentaries, actually, I quite enjoyed for these movies. I watched the one for the first movie, which had Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, and the director of that one, Catherine Hardwicke, and that one was really funny. Never listened to the one for the second movie, because I think it only had the producer or the editor or something. Third movie had Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart, and the director of that movie, which I cannot remember, David Slade. And then both of these movies have an audio commentary by Bill Condon. And I really wish Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart were in those, but oh well. And I'm not one of the people that cried or was depressed when this series was over. To be honest, I'm kind of glad it is, because I think Kristen Stewart is a good actress, and Twilight is not her best work. Definitely, she shines in this movie, and in Breaking Dawn Part 1, and I thought she did shine a little bit in New Moon, especially with the scenes in Italy. But I kind of hope that they make The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner into a movie. They probably will. And, yeah. Pretty good conclusion to the Twilight series. I have them all now. And this is my favorite Twilight. And I was quite surprised that I actually enjoyed it as much as I did, considering this was my least favorite book. But, yeah, guys, this is my review for Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2, and thanks for watching.